everyone, Ryan here with Trackstar Mediaworks, and thank you so much for checking out another episode of Tuned. On today's episode, we got to hand the GoPro off to Ethan real quick. We has to do a bunch of fabrication and notching on Evan's motor for the twin-turbo Civic build. Then, we're going to be heading over to Evan's house, getting the motor most of the way put in for part 1. So make sure you subscribe, enjoy the content, part 2 coming soon. Let's get to it.
Jason, do I have a flashing red light?
Yes.
Yeah. It cleared a minute ago, but it was like really close when I checked it on camera.
Close.
So,
yeah.
But now I gotta duplicate the same thing
over and
down
over.
each bore. Yeah,
And
this is kind of tricky because
it's very tricky because it's got to be almost exact in a way.
yeah, and I don't want to take off too much. Granted, this area is not super important, but
Yeah.
some people just do like a little, just like a finger notch there. I think I prefer this like kind of smoothed
out.
in. Yeah.
Looking good.
This side. Oh God, I just touched the wrong thing.
Ew.
That just means we can run more boost, man. So like they're in there, they seem to clear, but like I don't have the main girdle, so you can't really say for sure yet. The only thing holding the crank in is that and the two end pieces right now. Yeah, so we did, I think you guys saw the grinding of the bores where the rod was not clearing down, deep down in there. Right down in that gap there. So you can see that's got a nice angle to it now, and it now clears all the rods. Then we had the surprise, Evan brought the main girdle. I didn't have that while I was clearancing down there. And he brought the main girdle and we found out, damn, it hits here and here, the rod bolts themselves. If you look in, see where that's sitting right now. I mean, it's literally touching at this exact moment.
Yep.
I've already notched out all of the sides a little bit, all 8 spots here, just a little bit. It seems like a couple of them are clearing and a couple of them are not. So I've made some Sharpie marks here on the edges. You see the so I need to open up that gap just a little bit so that the edges of the rod bolt can clear.
The reason why we don't recommend doing this, but this is how much we had to take away.
Yeah, and it's definitely getting to a scary area right there. I mean, I can't go any further into that because this is an actual oil passageway in here. I'm gonna have to take this out and really blow out all of the shavings, because we got shavings down in all the oil passageway stuff here. But I think that we probably do finally have enough clearance. So
we're gonna try one more time.
Clean it up and put it back on and see where we're at. Okay, come down low angle and shoot way up, even lower. You can see those are not yet. You see the air gap between there? Those are not yet hitting. So my hit is on this side, up in, oh yeah, just barely, man. It looks like these notches got to get just a little bit deeper.
So what about heat or expansion or anything?
I mean, that's another thing, is it can't just barely clear. It needs to clear by, you know, a solid credit card or two. Like, it can't just be a hair, because they will possibly touch when it heats up if you're super tight on it.
All right, so we did a little more grinding.
We now have clearance. I don't know if I can call it clearance. It like whispers past the girdle right now.
But like we said, we need more than that.
Yeah, need a little bit more than that. Yep. But we're very close now.
All right, so now Ethan's finishing it up.
All right, there's our girdle all notched up, sanded down, looking some kind of pretty, I think. You can see all the notches from the side. So we know it already clears, so it should clear by even a little bit more now that I did the sanding. And I think what I need to do now is tear this all back apart, because I have a lot of metal stuff that I gotta clear out of here. I'm gonna have to pull some parts out of oil passageways, and I'm gonna spray a bunch of air and a bunch of brake cleaner, and then probably flow some water through it in the end. But yeah, I mean, you can see all the little metal stuff here, and I mean, I've been wiping it off continuously or blowing it off, but yeah, there was a lot of shaving done here.
Yep.
So there's a lot of, and so this is very important. I mean, it would be easy to be lazy here and not pull off, but we're gonna have the oil pump off, so that oil passageway galley is gonna be open. I'm gonna pull this guy out completely. I'm gonna end up pulling this out of the girdle, which is oil passageway through there. And then like I said, I'm gonna flush everything out.
Everything, spotless. All right, so Ethan is finally done grinding his life away, and we've made it over to Evan's house. The motor is here, looking pretty. We've got good rotation. And now, we're gonna get it put in the car.
So of note, when the motor came out, it was attached to an automatic. So now we're gonna put a clutch and flywheel on there with the manual trans to go back in. So that change is kind of built into this.
Look at this thing.
Is that supposed to go on the... I mean, anything you got is... I'm worried that we only... Alright, well, I laid the head gasket on here, and then I found a little potential problem right here and here. See the brad, those were there and there. I've removed those because that seems like that could have been created a problem as far as the head sitting up too high and the gasket not crushing. I've seen this exact problem before, so I like to be very mindful when I'm laying the head gasket on and see what problems could arise. We would like all the pistons kind of down right now, honestly. So that some of them are straight up. A little more? Yeah, we need to just spin the motor a little bit.
All right, so oil pan's going on.
This is just temporarily going on right now.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna get the pan on so I can set it up, get the flywheel on right after that.
Look at what's behind us here. Oh, so pretty. Yay.
All right, we got our new pilot bearing in the flywheel. Brand new flywheel going on. I say it's going on, but okay. All right, so the flywheel has been mated. Again, if you guys don't remember, this was a automatic. I mean, this came off of an automatic car, so we've just converted it to having a manual flywheel. So now we're going to mate the action clutch up with it. We've got the alignment tool. We've got some ARP clutch bolts that we're going to go ahead and use.
All right, looks like the trans is all mated up. We got the clutch, everything. Now I think it's time to get this thing on the engine hoist. So we decided not to put this motor in, and we decided to go ahead and just put a Ethan Hopkins inside the Civic because it seems to get a lot more power. All right, so Evan was right. I'm a believer. It looks better. Now it's time to get this thing in.
How much I have hated having the trans and stuff just on the floor. My garage has not been very clean since all this, and now so this stuff is done. You know, it's up.
Power steering pump.
Garage.
Can you go up? Go up. On the top side of that.
So we pretty much have the motor all in, but Ethan wanted to take a second and explain to y'all exactly what we're doing on this Civic project.
What are we doing on this project?
We don't even know.
We're gonna do a...
Not blowing up.
Yeah.
That's definitely on the agenda. You know, we were purposefully went after that last one. But now we have rods and pistons inside, and we'll be a bit more careful. And this is gonna get not a twin turbo setup, but a compound turbo setup.
Yep.
So one smaller turbo and then a little bit bigger turbo. The small turbo should light off immediately, and that should help spool the large turbo. So something a little different, maybe not totally, you know, necessary as far as like to make X power,
Definitely not necessary.
No,
definitely
it's
not necessary.
But we're gonna do it
but
anyway.
definitely cool.
Yeah,
So.
we're doing it for the cool points. So we're gonna be back at Evan's house to wrap everything up. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next episode.